Welcome back, episode 92 of Revisited, and we're doing Browntable. We haven't done Browntable in a while. I think we've only done one Browntable proper, even though B-List has done the Interstellar Rangers Commence nonsense, and it is a very not good show. And not even because, oh, it's one dude, it's a passion project type of thing. You can see the cut corners and all of this. No, the writing is just not very good.
That's what it's all about, the writing. And the writing is not good.
So today we're talking about defending The Dark Knight Rises better than you remember, once again, by Browntable. So we, as we are wont to do, whenever we get these types of videos that look at a showcase of something that we feel like there may be something meaty there, that they'll explain some stuff, and we want to counter it, we'll watch the series, we'll read the series, we'll watch the movie, we'll listen to the music, whatever. And for this, we watched The Dark Knight Rises again. The Dark Knight Rises is one of my least favorite superhero movies of all time, and I believe I've watched it 7 times. I believe this was the 7th time I've watched this film. And it's I don't know if it's just I'm so used to it now, or I've seen so many worse things out there. It's not egregiously unentertaining or something. I can see the framework of why people would enjoy this film. I still think it's not a good movie.
No, it is not a good. There are far worse. That's one of the best things that you could say about it. It's not awful. It's not good.
Yes, it's very not good.
It is nonsensical in a lot of points, and we're going to talk about that as we go on.
In terms of superhero movies, it would be lower rung of the mid tier to me, maybe upper rung of the low tier. Yeah, that's somewhere around that area.
I'd lean more towards the lower rung. I mean, a higher rung of the low tier than the lower of the mid.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of Bane.
Bane killed
a big smelly mark for Bane.
I didn't realize how terrible the editing was in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not great.
There was one point where Blake is talking to Bruce, and he stands up, and you hear the stand-up sound effect like 0.2 seconds before the camera gets back to him. So he's sitting down, it goes to Bruce while he's still talking, 0.2 seconds of the stand-up, and he's standing with his back turned a little bit and looking over. There's no time for that.
During that big last fight, I was not looking at Bane and Batman. That's not where your eyes are supposed to go.
It's supposed to go there. It's supposed to be a big old circle.
Background.
Oh, dude, I was there, and I had to stop the fight and tell myself, no, you look at Bane and Batman.
No, anywhere but them. Because I'm like, I know what's going on here, but I want to see Homeboy in the back.
Dude, there was a moment where, when they first start talking, right before they start fighting, right on the right-hand side of Bane, there's a woman and a dude fighting, and they're fighting like this.
Oh no, this wrestling.
Pure wrestling stuff. Nobody's really getting hit. It's just like stopping 8 feet in front of each other's faces.
There was one in the background. It was 2 people, and they go to punch each other at the same time, and then one of them just sort of stops and then recoils. Like, come on, follow through. I
feel like there could be an entire video just on those background extras, because my God, they just gave them the direction of look like you're fighting.
Just look like you're fighting. And I understand 1 take, 2 take. Who knows how many takes there were? And you can't keep up that same energy on the 8th take when you just like, I'm not gonna be seen. I'm tired. We're just fake fighting. I gotta look at this. I don't know this guy. This is getting kind of awkward.
But wouldn't it be easier to just go, okay, we're doing roughly 40 seconds of a fight. Here's how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, just coordinate normal choreographed stuff.
Hey, it's me and you fighting against each other. Okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Duck, uppercut.
And even if it's 8 takes, we're just doing the same 8 times.
You gotta be like, what if somebody bumps into me? What if somebody gets kind of frisky and just like, I'm jumping in this one, and just goes to punch you, and you just gotta.
Okay, but then you gotta work with that. And that's fine. But you're not even trying. It's some of the worst background fighting I've ever seen, if not the absolute worst background fighting I've ever seen.
But it's just got to be the number of takes and the number of people. Because if you go,
I can understand the number of people.
There's like 8 people fighting in the background. You go, hey, tighten that up
here in a
next
bar,
time, you guys.
And it's just a big old brawl.
The director could be like, hey, tighten that up. But with so many people, they're just letting them go.
Legitimately 50, 60 people fighting each other.
Yeah, so you just let that roll and you just, we got it.
Okay, but you got paid as an extra. Just make it look a little good. Don't do this. Dude, that's when I had to stop myself and go, no, you pay attention to Bane and Batman only.
But you also got to realize they may not be perfectly trained fighters. And
you don't have to be perfectly trained. When I was a kid, I understand we haven't started this video anywhere near. When I was a kid, Nicholas and his brother, we would just do a choreographed fight every time I went over to their house. It would just be like, all right, here's where I'm gonna grab your leg after you kick me and flip you, and you're gonna flip.
But you're planning that out.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We would sit there and go, all right, what are we doing? Let's do this. All right, let's run it through. That looks good. We'll keep that.
Unless you're going with somebody, with your friend or something, you're not gonna be like, hey guy, let's do this. I'm not a person that would do that, because I'm like, well, what if the dude's, no, we're just gonna fake fight, and then we're gonna cut, and then we're gonna fake fight.
You have 50 to 60 people there. They're clearly gonna go, all right, you stay here, you're gonna fight him, you're gonna fight her, blah, 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 blah. Why not just have a conversation instead of, all right, let's make this look good?
It's a lot easier to just go, I'm an uppercut, he better react. And that's what they do. And it's like, I hope
but it looks horrible.
It do though. But, what can you do?
Talk to each other. It's such minute planning that would go into it.
It's the easiest thing in the world to try to make it look good. But why put in the effort if you're not going to get really rewarded for it?
You can't talk about that because of your job.
Sure, I know, but I'm stupid.
So they're stupid on the other spectrum.
No, I just can't pull back.
And they can't push forward.
Yeah, it's harder to push forward.
I disagree.
You know what?
I disagree.
It's a lot harder to pull back because you gotta limit yourself.
Yeah, you can't just go, I'm gonna tell my mind to go 70%, because what is 70% to you?
But yes, and that's the thing. You go. What if you in Little Mac? What if you like, oh, I'm gonna be the next Rocky? You start throwing punches, and the dude's just like, hey, calm this down. And then you got a background take of somebody going, hey, calm this down.
That's why you should be coordinating.
They're not strategizing. These are some bums who are happy to be on Christopher Nolan's jock.
Do we have a description?
Oh, we do got a description. It's not a good one.
Of course.
I saw a word.
Oh, no.
And this is the word.
Is a theme.
The Dark Knight Rises gets way too much flack. I wanted to analyze this film's themes and what it does well in this video essay.
That's it?
Yes. Patreon, Twitter.
We
Instagram.
did not need to watch this movie.
We did not need to watch this movie. I'm going to say that outright. This is not. It is not to our benefit to have rewatched this movie.
No.
I was watching it and I was just like, I remember so much of this.
It is crazy.
It is stuck in my mind.
You asked me 2 scenes in Husk. I got nothing for you.
One better, Black Adam. That film is rushing out of my mind. I'm just like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, how did he get awakened again? And I was like, oh, some girl like stood on a circle or something. It's gone. Watched that like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, she said the phrase to unlock the tomb.
Sure.
Crazy.
Sure.
Crazy.
Gone. But this one, I'm just like, oh, let's not stand on circumstances here. It's the way.
I was just like, we are not a defenders or takers. We're liberators. And in my mind, I was like, he's about to say we're liberator. And he immediately...
But that's just
without the rope. Instantly, I was like, oh, without the rope is coming. It's crazy. Bane has some good lines.
Bane is great. Bane is that dude.
Let's just get into it.
No. Did that say uncommon sense? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Self-deprecating humor. Haha. Very funny. Cool.
At what point is self-deprecating humor not charming and more of a... You're more of a shield to people dissenting on your opinion or your character.
It could be seen as a shield. It could also be seen as sort of like, just kind of slyly asking for compliments because it's like uncommon sense. It is somebody like, no, you do have common sense.
That's crazy because we're not good YouTubers.
And I mean it.
And it's not self-deprecating. It is factual. Yeah. And then our fans go, why are y'all such bad YouTubers?
It's like, sorry. That's all we got.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Go to the link in the description to get started on...
What does that Skillshare logo look like? A sperm?
It's just two hands. You're like, sharing the skills.
It looks like two connected sperms.
It looks more like a SpongeBob jellyfish.
That is not a good logo. I do not like that. That seems like...
But it's like infinity, but the hands are connected.
It seems like something should be added to this. It's not enough.
I mean, but logos are supposed to be simple and clean.
No. Not necessarily. You can... they're leaning more towards that nowadays.
No, they're leaning towards a more reductionist form of logos.
But that's could also be seen as simplified.
Yeah, okay, you can say it's simplified, but logos are meant to be an immediate understanding or immediate... oh, I know what that is. Look at something like McDonald's, the arches, the giant M, and it's just a M with a certain font and the color yellow. Burger King, it's just a Burger King name in between two patties. I mean, two buns. I mean, that's just Arby's.
I was looking for the Dunkin' Donuts logo because I saw that. I was like, the f is this? Horrible. Yeah,
the double D's?
Yeah. It was Dunkin' Donuts. You got the little cup with the steam coming out of it. That's good. But then now it's just Dunkin'.
Yeah, Dunkin's horrible.
It's terrible.
Oh, the worst is in Bandai Namco.
Oh yeah, no. It's like what y'all had it.
It was orange.
This was popping.
It looked horrible. I had forgotten until I started playing One Piece, and I was like, "Oh, that logo, God."
2-month free trial. Trilogies. We all love them.
Pause.
There's something special about them.
Why is Trilogy still on the screen? It's on there for too long. Why do you need Trilogies in normal font, dead in the middle? No shadows, no color, nothing. What does this do for people? What is this?
It keeps in their mind what he's talking about.
He said it!
Yeah, but now you don't need to remember that because it's always on screen. It's a frame of reference.
Oh man, I can't remember more than 2 sentences. What was he talking? Oh, Trilogy!
Are you telling me people aren't stupid?
Yes, they are stupid. But I've yet to find... Triggered.
Alright then,
but that's not fair.
Well, it's never fair with you. No, because every time there's an example, but that's not fair. It's field.
Yes, but that's the highest level. You can't compare Muhammad Ali to just some guy. It's not fair. It's gotta be. It's like, okay, excluding Muhammad Ali. The boxing world is this, but they're not talking about in Ricardo when they talking about. But Jesus Christ!
What a chapter, dude! What a fake chapter.
This top 2 fight.
Dude, legitimately.
Him stomping his
that was
foot.
the end of the last chapter. I got goosebumps up there.
Legitimately. When they flashed back and he was just like, what does it mean to be strong? I went, holy crap. And then I had to stop because I'm like, he doesn't even know because he's not challenged. He doesn't even know if he's strong.
Understand.
He doesn't understand. This is tragic. And then I'm just sort of fanficking a conversation between him and Ippo in my mind. Just like, why do you box? And then this just go down the straight and narrow path of to be strong. And then they have a conversation about it. Or they just have a look and they just know. Or somebody interrupts. And then we get the tease for when they finally do realize we have this in common. What does it mean to be strong? Dude.
We're not gonna get Ricardo for a while too.
And it sucks.
It sucks.
This is him stomping his foot.
Alright, you've got the upper hand, just stay away. Just outbox him, you know what to do.
Stomping his foot is the great, legit top 3 moment in Ippo. I love that. We're not gonna get Ricardo for so long.
Because you know it's gonna be months of recovery. We're gonna get 2 or 3 fights in between.
It's so good.
Not 2023, we're getting Ricardo Sendo.
More of Ricardo. But we're trilogies!
Something special about them. And it's always kind of fun to see.
It's because people are conditioned to like the number 3, the rule of 3, that type of thing. Don't know where it comes from. It's just a psychological thing that people come to. Just like 5, 10, 15. It's just a number that people attach to. What's up?
Shrek has more than 3 movies.
Yes.
It's not a trilogy.
Is there a Shrek 4?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Shrek Forever After.
Yes. And it was out when this came out. Long time.
But that doesn't count. People only remember the 3.
Was it Shrek 3 hated? Or was that Shrek 2? I think it was
Shrek 2. People love Shrek 2.
Yeah, so that's the bad one.
Movies are going to end up great if the series starts great and ends poorly, or if it starts poorly and ends great. I wanted to go back to the late 2000s, early 2010s, and revisit a trilogy I hold very dear to my heart, and that's the Dark Knight trilogy. The third film in the trilogy is The Dark Knight Rises, and not enough people talk about this movie in my opinion. There's so much the movie does right, but...
Because there's almost nothing to talk about with this film.
What would, in your opinion, be the appropriate amount of talking? Because I don't really hear people talking about Batman Begins.
Even these days, I don't hear people talking about Dark Knight unless it's what's the greatest superhero movie of all time.
Or in relation to upcoming Batman media.
But when you're just sitting there, I don't see a conversation of just like, yo, The Dark Knight is an upper echelon of cinema or that type of thing.
Because something like Black Panther coming out, nobody's going but Dark Knight, though. There's nothing really to compare. There's no real need to bring up The Dark Knight in that conversation. But again, what would he prefer in terms of the conversation vis-a-vis Dark Knight Rises?
I mean, how many people talk about Superman 2, which many people consider one of the greatest superhero films of all time? How many people are talking about Spider-Man 2 right now? I love Spider-Man 2. I think it's the best ever.
How many people talk about Spider-Man 3? So it's not a very good movie, but people widely regard it as a bad movie.
How many people are talking about X2 right now?
What is the conversation that he's looking for?
Now, this was 3 years ago. So yeah, 2020. I truly don't know 5-10 years later what the conversation you want The Dark Knight Rises to be.
The internet discourse talks about it as if it's a mediocre mess.
The internet discourse is correct.
I appreciate the showing of references, but who is this?
It's Dark Knight Jedi. It looks like Reddit.
That doesn't look like Reddit. That little arrow.
Old Reddit, maybe?
Maybe old Reddit.
Let's see.
But internet discourse...
That's a blog.
That is a blog.
talks about it as if
That is a blog, because you can see, and it's an old blog because the HTML picture isn't even sourced correctly anymore, which means it was either taken out of the local machine, if I understand programming correctly in the back end, because I am not a back end developer, or it wasn't wherever the site it linked to is. So this is an old thing. Pacing of the story was horrible. It felt like watching a 3-hour-long trailer where dialogue is delivered at a snap pace and gave no time to suck you. Some of that is correct.
Yeah.
Some of that was very...
As always, examples are appreciated.
mess,
Reddit.
but it's
Shrug.
not.
But it's not, is your opinion. Why the Dark Knight trilogy is the worst thing to happen to Batman?
Lists. In lists. I don't know what this is.
This seems
the
like
worst thing.
movies, Screen Junkiers or something like that. Because they do those 3 pictures next to each other because it's supposed to SEO apply more to the eye and make people click on it.
But this is about the Dark Knight trilogy, not just Batman. I mean, the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
I can prove it. The most important
Can we get all that?
But they're wrong, and I can prove it, I hope.
internet discourse talks about it as if it's a mediocre mess, but it's not, and I can prove it. The most important elements of the movie have to do with its writing, its themes. Then before
any film has themes.
Yep.
That means nothing. Oh, it
Really
explores
nothing.
the themes of blah blah blah. Okay, but was it written well?
What about what happens when we apply themes to the bad movies? Does that elevate the movies?
I
Or is it
Frankenstein
still
has
just like-
themes.
Yes, it does.
Themes of legacy, continuing his father's and trying to find his own place in the world, not trying to be in the shadow of a person before him. Greater person. Rebirth.
What now? Does that elevate the movie? Does that go from a 3 to a 4 to a 5? Or is it just, yes, it has a theme, but it don't matter because the story is shite?
we get started on the video, I wanted to let you all know that if you are interested in becoming a writer or filmmaker, there's one place that you have to check out, and that's Skillshare. Skillshare? That's right.
Do people... I've not heard any, glowing reviews of Skillshare.
Skillshare feels very much like Fiverr, but instead of putting your skills in the pool of skills, with Skillshare, Fiverr is just like, hey, let me search for a voice actor, find one I like, and then pay them to do the thing.
Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills.
This is, okay, then I'm wrong. Skillshare is more like Masterclass. And if that's the case, why wouldn't you go to Masterclass with some of the greatest writers delivering things? I forgot who it was.
Maybe Cash.
But I understand the payment of it, but still.
Maybe it's something like, I wouldn't want to take a basketball class from LeBron James.
I think
just
people
me
would.
some bum.
But
that's
would
way
just be
too high of a level.
It wouldn't just be you, to be fair.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But
If
that's
it's 10
way
people-
too high of a level. You sort of got to go incremental. I wouldn't want to be.
I disagree.
I would. That would be my preference.
Would you rather get would you rather a writing class by Dean Koontz or Stephen King? And I love Dean Koontz.
That's not fair. I haven't read a Dean Koontz.
You haven't read anything. Velocity is tremendous.
Well, you just say that. I don't even know if that's a real book. You could be lying.
Have you ever read anything from Anne Rice? Okay, Stephen King or Christopher Pike?
Well, I just like Christopher Pike is a lot more consistent with his
Christopher
quality.
Pike or R.L. Stein?
Depends on what I'm trying to write.
Oh my God! Just go with the analogy.
I can't because I can't answer the question because it's not. I need to know the parameters.
Christopher Pike or the person that wrote Animorphs?
K. Applegate is the person, or the people that wrote because it's a combination of the two of them because she's just like,
That makes sense.
Oh, a woman, nobody would want a woman. And then it's sort of like she was more into the animal stuff and he was more into the war stuff. So they just sort of fusion hide into a big book about war, and then also animals. So that is the story of Animorphs.
Cool. Answer my question.
I don't know what exactly this proves, because again,
Do you think Christopher Pike's writing is stronger than theirs?
Yes.
Much stronger than theirs. If Christopher Pike is an 8, they are a 6.
See, that's not fair, because half of Animorphs was
It's
ghost
never
written.
fair with you!
Half of Animorphs was ghost written.
That's not what I...
That's not, so
That
I
has
can only
nothing-
judge half of their series, when the other half, it's like, I don't know where they were exactly going with. It's not exactly a
Would you
comparable-
rather Christopher Pike or the woman that wrote Twilight? Stephanie Meyer.
Stephanie Meyer. Pike?
Okay, then. Pike is at an upper level, but you're not gonna go, alright, I need to get to Stephen King. Let me go to Stephanie Meyer, then Christopher Pike, then Stephen King.
I would.
No, Stephen King is good enough. If you're trying to write a horror
If we're
space,
going Stephen King is a 10, I wouldn't go right to the 10.
I would try to learn from the best and then try to make my own way instead of trying to pick up a little bit from every person on the way
if
to
he
a
just
10.
goes, you gotta have a good theme, and you just got, oh wait, what's the theme?
He wouldn't go that because Stephen King cares so very little about things.
A 10 writer, a normal, non-coked out, allegedly. No, it wasn't allegedly. He did.
Oh, he said he
a
did.
non-coked out writer. I retract that, allegedly. But a non-coked out writer, a normal...
Most of them are allegedly.
Whatever genius writer out here who is not a druggo, who's a 10 on 10, who goes, what? You gotta have a good theme and good pathos. Then I gotta stop and explain what pathos and themes are.
But if you're already trying to become a writer, you would assume that you would already have the basics of it.
You just not 5 minutes ago said, aren't people stupid?
They are very much stupid, but that has more to do with the individual being stupid as opposed to Stephen King, or, my bad, not Stephen King, 10 out of 10 writer that will say something about themes.
That's not a druggo.
That's not a druggo, non-druggo theme monster over there.
Hypothetical alpha world Stephen King.
What was my point? I'm lost in the sauce. That's what it was. It's not on Stephen King. It's not on non-druggo to
explain exactly what the concepts are.
It's like a college professor doing something with trigonometry. It's not on them to think, oh, they must know geometry to be... I'm just going to explain this. Okay, and you better know it.
But it's like, if you're here, it's one would assume that you know.
Yes.
So why are you coming to the 10, dude, if you're at a 5 level?
But if you're at a 5 level and you know the basics, and the only thing you would get from other people are a better understanding of the basics, I would go to the 10 person and try to understand the basics better on my own. But I'm a self-learner.
And I would just go the incremental route. This just seems like a difference of how we would approach gaining skills and knowledge.
Yeah.
Are you someone that wants to learn how to color grade your footage or write screenplays?
There is
Not
Google for that.
Did you learn your dumph in Piss Baby art? How's Batman? Was he the Robin guy? I forget.
Which Robin guy?
No, that wasn't Browntable. That was the person that we just did the Black Adam and Black Panther.
Oh no. That was High Top Film.
High Top. Okay, sorry. I apologize.
It was Zack Snyder changed my life or something. He was talking about Zack Snyder
and the creative process. And
yes.
How happy.
And he got his film.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
You're in luck because Skillshare offers all of that and more. Getting a premium membership gives you unlimited access so you can join the classes and communities that benefit you, like illustration, graphic design, photography.
Here's the thing. Why would I want an unlimited membership and get, let's just say, 80 different potential tutorials from 80 different things: illustration, graphic design, photography, UI, UX design. When I can find a community for UX design
I was about to say
outside of a Skillshare.
Yeah, like what is the benefit of this if you can look up a YouTube video? And I understand that, you know, a YouTube video won't tell you as much. I don't know. Is this just a bunch of videos? Is this a bunch of videos, or is this like a teacher-led course?
It's more, I would assume it's more of a teacher-led course that is on demand. So they're teaching you how to do the thing. But again, that's no different than a YouTube video. And you can join a Discord for UX and UI design, because I know quite a few of them, and I'm learning that.
So creative writing, animation,
creative writing is the exact same.
I'm sorry, but something like creative writing, that just seems like you can't be taught that. You just got to do it and build your own skills.
I am very much in the same.
You can get taught like concepts and like first act, second act, third act structure, but outside of that,
I was listening to a fantasy writer. I forgot what her name was. This is a black woman though. She was talking about things like going to the location so you can accurately describe it, because she went to a New York subway or something, and it's easier to just go there and look at the dirt on the ground or something and be able to write that, as opposed to New York's grimy, I'm just gonna write makes it more authentic. I can understand things like that, trying to add authenticity to your writing, working on your prose, that type of thing. Beyond that,
I don't know.
It seems much like a college course of just a bunch of 20-year-olds just going, I am a fancy pants writer person because I understand the 3 Ps.
And music production.
What is this? Fine art?
Fine art?
I'm going to be taught fine art?
That is pretty fine art, I'll say. Look at the, maybe it is just like look at the strokes and stuff like that. But what one artist values is going to be different from what another artist values. So what exactly is it teaching you? We are never going to get it sponsored by Skillshare.
He just took it from here.
Yeah, see, it's like an hour. It's just like an hour video.
Productivity, mastering productivity.
It's an hour video. You can do that on YouTube.
Introduction, manage your tasks, set up your calendar.
Have to imagine.
This is like Udemy.
Yes, but my thought is maybe there's this productivity thing. This is all on demand, but on Wednesday there's going to be a live stream where you can ask questions and stuff.
I very much doubt it.
I
feels
would
so
hope
much like
so.
Udemy, where you buy the course
and you just got it. But
and
go back
to the big.
Go up a little bit. Learn creative skills to achieve your personal and professional goals. Tune in and level up at your own pace. Tune in. Go from dabbler to master in a matter of hours. Maybe the Better Business Bureau got a bit of a bone to pick with that, because that doesn't seem exactly truthful.
What is Skillshare? Skillshare is an online learning. What is included in my membership? Unlimited access to all the classes to watch when and where you want, and additional features from offline viewing, access to the community.
Holy crap.
And more. What can I learn? What happens after my trial is over? Your begins. Can I teach on? Yes, Skillshare to professional. Yeah, and you can apply to teach on it.
How much is it? How much do you think? I'm thinking $120 a year. No. 200. No, 150.
I think it's
a year.
I think it's going to be $15 a month, and I think it's going to be $120 a year. Skillshare price cost. What does Skillshare cost?
Oh, don't give us the sugar. Give us the spice. Come on now. Give us the number. I hate when you guys dig to find how much this costs.
To learn more about creating an account. Ugh.
What? Go to Reddit.
Okay, pricing classes online. Nope.
They are burying this.
They are burying the lead. That's why I like Udemy. They outright just say blue, blue, bloom.
What? Yearly 167. 167.
It used to be 20 a month.
Well, it ain't now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Skillshare is just it's YouTube. I can't speak to the quality of this person that's teaching me more than I can to somebody on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I could do so more than that because I can go to the comments and see people going, this ain't work.
You can do that on Udemy because that's where I got one of my online certificates for. What am I looking for?
Pornography?
Absolutely, thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Here's your porn certificate. Why, thank you.
Web development.
Of porn. Look at the fine print.
Yeah, so you get the notes, you get the overview, you get the QA, questions and answers from other students, from the instructor. But this notes, announcements.
I should hope that Skillshare has something like this.
I would hope so.
I don't know if they do or they do not, but I should hope that they do.
Oh, did he add some stuff? Nope. Okay, I was about to say.
We are lost in the sauce.
The most lost we've ever been. This is gonna be a terrible episode.
Nope. This just means when it's front loaded like this is just gonna be a nothing episode where he's not gonna say anything. And we're gonna be out of here in an hour.
How we make that happen.
We feel it like on a podcast where it's just like Mike knows that we don't have anything,
but he's not telling us.
He's not telling us, but then we'll just go off and he's just like, oh, thank goodness, I ain't have nothing. So I'm telling you, this is gonna be Nathan.
Film and video, you name it. This class, for example, by Ryan Booth will help you learn how to make your footage look more professional by...
What could somebody tell you to up your productivity? Because it seems like that's more of a person to person. Do I have to go back to it?
But a lot of things are person to person. Yeah. A lot of people apply learning differently. Some people learn better from books. Some people learn better from
And that's why I'm saying that a broad generalization of write down your notes and stick to it. That wouldn't help necessarily everybody.
But there is a...
But if you shotgun so much information that somebody's going to be like, oh, I'll pick that one and then...
Plus, there's a psychological thing. I forgot what it's called. And somebody in the comments has said it before when I forgot what it was called back then. Where you work hard studying or whatever for 25 minutes and then you take a break and then you work for another 25 minutes, and if you get distracted by something, you add another 5 minutes to that 25 minutes, that type of thing. So it is a psychological thing. It's essentially making you have better habits, so eventually the non-procrastination, the getting stuff done, becomes more second nature because you're so used to a routine of, okay, 25 minutes of studying straight.
But that is you're trusting yourself to live by that. Because if you go, I'm going to add 5 more minutes, then you just go, nah, I'll add 5 more minutes next time.
That is the dangers of self-learning, because going by your own pace, your pace can be, I'm going to learn an hour today, 3 hours tomorrow, and then nothing else for the week.
So something like the add 5 minutes won't necessarily work for everybody, is my thing. So I don't know, I wouldn't want to see that productivity. I mean, man, this got a 7-day course. I might hop in
the thing
just to see exactly what's going on with
Make sure you cancel on time.
Oh, yeah, because I ain't getting hit with that $167. And that was 2 years ago. Who knows how much it is now?
giving you tips on when to film, certain lighting conditions you have to take into consideration when filming, and more.
This I can see the benefits of.
Oh, absolutely.
Because something like lighting and knowing how exactly to shoot something, that is a teachable skill that applies to so much. Light works like this, and this reflector thing works like this.
To make your movies look like Christopher Nolan movies, Skillshare is the place to go. Lastly, Skillshare is insanely affordable with an annual subscription being less than $10 a month.
Whoops. Whoops.
Man, I don't know what they were doing where number go up, but it's the COVID. So they knew people were going to be at home.
Learning new skills.
So they just went money time.
As
allegedly.
Skillshare is sponsoring this video, and they're providing you Chads with 2 months of Skillshare for free. That's genuinely a really awesome deal. 2 months free? I'm signing up right now.
2 months
That's right.
free
Go to
is
the link.
essentially $19 if it's less than $10 a month.
That's back in that time.
Back in that time, but
2 free months today, that's like $40.
Sure, but that's back in that time. It's just basically $20, so it's not like a big thing. Somebody cheap like me, I'd be like, oh yeah, $20. But you know, it's not the big amazing thing that you think it is.
And to get
free
2
is free.
months of Skillshare absolutely free. This is genuinely an awesome deal, guys. I used my own code.
Batman flew into movie theaters across this nation and made box office history.
The Batman saga took in $75.6 million in its second weekend in theaters.
The performance of a fallen star reached an all-out crescendo.
We can't talk about The Dark Knight Rises without talking about The Dark Knight first, which is a quintessential superhero film that strives to be more than just that.
I'm so tired of The Dark Knight.
No, it is a quintessential superhero film that strives to be more than that.
How does it strive to be more than that?
By being a crime drama, a gritty crime drama that has more moral consequences and
Captain
actions
America
and
2,
themes.
Captain America 2 was a spy thriller.
Yes, but themes. Did you?
Yes, there's themes in that too. And in Civil War.
But The Dark Knight has themes.
Superhero film. It's the difference between an Ant-Man 2 and a Spider-Man 2. One strives
That's
to be
not fair because Ant-Man 2 is so forgettable.
Yeah.
It is just a thing. It's not.
It's just a superhero movie.
Okay, let's start applying themes to Ant-Man 2. I wish I could, but I don't remember when you watch that movie. But Ant-Man 2 fan out there, you apply that theme. Somebody's offended that he's just going, now wait a second. I compare Ant-Man 2 to Spider-Man 2.
Who's offended by that? There's nobody out there.
There's gotta be some Ant-Man 2 fan out there. That's a big enough
Spider-Man 2 though?
Southpaw had that Spider-Man 2 video sucks. Who knows if it sucks or not?
Southpaw sucks.
That is a whole nother conversation.
more than what it's usually labeled. The Dark Knight showcases an interpretation of the Batman and Joker in a riveting crime drama that is one of my favorite films of all time. And you can personally dislike the film, but you can't refute that the movie had major cultural impact.
Okay,
Avatar had major cultural impact.
and it sucks. What makes it a crime drama?
The crime and the drama. There was crime.
Okay.
But Joker stole stuff.
But Monk is a crime drama.
Sure.
Psych is a crime drama.
Yeah. But The Dark Knight has themes.
Okay, great. It's NCIS meets a superhero. Like, I don't...
Yeah, you do.
You can't just say crime drama and go, oh my god, that's why it's so great.
But they do. That is a lot of the praise for this movie.
That's
crazy.
That
is different. It's the Joker.
Joker's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
How embarrassing.
At least I know what it's for. Writing.
I know what it's for sometimes. I understand Lincoln $sign Elf. I understand. But there's other times where I clearly label the things that I have the thing for. All right?
Don't go to your alerts. Don't go to your alarms.
Work.
Yes.
Easy. Get cord. I got cord.
What
Cord again. Cross. Cross what?
CrossFit?
CrossFit?
Yeah, maybe. Now you're getting mad at yourself again.
Chainsaw Fire Force? I haven't read Chainsaw Man. And I haven't thought about Fire Force in months. Lottery? I don't play. Jesus. The letter T, the letter Q, the letter X, and the letter S.
You know what you should do? Whenever you make an alert, you should write a note on your phone of what that alert means. So
but then I'll have to go into that note.
Yeah,
If I made that alert, that means that it's for something.
Yeah.
Something that happened at 3:30 p.m.
But what you can do,
I got that.
No, for like the TQXS, you would go to the notes and you go TQXS equals for this thing.
But if I set the alarm for that thing, that means that I know what that thing was.
You clearly don't.
But no, the alarm is off, so it served its purpose, but I just didn't delete it.
You delete it. You delete it.
I know I need to delete it because that legitimately makes me seem like a crazy person. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. What? There are so few words that begin with a Q that could apply to anything that I do.
I was about to say 1,000-year quest, but I don't know where the X and the S would come in. You have so many alarms, dude.
I have so many alarms.
I have 3 alarms set. One for coding, one for writing, one for exercise. That is it.
Wonder key.
Don't you want to know what these mean?
I would love to know what that means.
Then start doing the notes, please.
But that would only be for future me.
Yes, future you is right now.
Yes, I know.
And you're going, what the was Wonder Key? And it would be great to have the knowledge of what was Wonder
But what
Key.
would that do for me other than
At
satisfying
least
my
no,
curiosity?
Because now you're gonna go mad and think of what the was Lincoln $Elf, and it's been like 8 months. You still don't know, and it still annoys you that you don't know. How long did you think about what it could possibly mean?
I think there might be a part of me that sets crazy alarms just to annoy future me.
So we're separating this?
We absolutely are. That's the only
You're
option.
a night person now?
What else could TQXS mean?
I couldn't tell you because
I
I'm
could
not
also
you.
not
You
tell
are
you.
you. How could you not tell me?
I'm barely me. Oh, they're so far apart. It's not even like I just went, yeah, whatever. The T and the Q and the S and the X are not really close to each other. The Q, S, and X are kind of in a row. But this is on my keyboard. It's kind of in a row like that. So maybe.
Why would you? So did you just start with T and go?
It'll be forever a mystery.
It shouldn't be.
It really shouldn't be.
The movie's great and you're wrong. But being such a massive success and changing the landscape of superhero films for a while, The Dark Knight Rises had to compete with that. Batman had to compete with Batman, and to do that is near impossible as one movie had one of the greatest performances in a superhero film ever. And so, of course, almost
competing with it is possible. You don't have to be better than it. You just have to be as good as it, or slightly worse. Just to be like, no, it's good. Wasn't as good as that, but as long as you don't go from a 10 to a 6,
people are good.
People are good, and it's completely possible to do that. I Plastic Beach is my favorite Gorillaz album. There has been Gorillaz album that came after that where I'm just like, not as good, but this hitting. And really, you know, that's really sometimes all you can ask for. It's not going to be something like this, you know, like a massive letdown. Mm-hmm. There are going to be people who think if it goes from a 10 to an 8, it's going to be a massive letdown because they want those.
People think that a 7 is the beginning of what a thing should be. Anything below that is trash.
You're talking about Phil, it seems.
He is.
But again,
I watched that whole Pokemon thing. He's
a
awful.
lunatic.
He is.
I am so. Is this our almost at an hour Phil talk?
Right on schedule. That's what the alert was really for.
Unsurprisingly, the reception to The Dark Knight Rises was not as good as the reception to The Dark Knight. And because of...
Mayhaps not because it's not as good as the other movie. Maybe it's just not a very good movie.
That is a very good, distinct possibility.
We're not looking at it as in the lens of comparing it to The Dark Knight.
No.
I'm looking at this as this. I didn't watch The Dark Knight in preparation for this. I've seen The Dark Knight maybe 3 times where, like you said, this is like my 7th or 8th time seeing this movie. I don't care about that movie.
Not being as good, people brush it off. If The Dark Knight Rises did not come after The Dark Knight, I feel like viewers would treat the film differently. But
I wouldn't. It's a very not good.
You can't look into that timeline. There's no way that we can know that. You can assume that is, but you got to show enough things that are just like in comparison to The Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises is.
But just because the film isn't as good as The Dark Knight doesn't mean we should brush it aside as an inferior sequel. While The Dark Knight...
It literally would be an inferior sequel if it's not as good.
Just because it's not as good doesn't mean it's not as good, y'all.
That's what inferiority means.
That's what it should be.
If you eat a 10 sandwich and then the next day you try a new sandwich from the same place and it's an 8 sandwich, still a very good sandwich, but it's an inferior sandwich.
Now, maybe his point is don't brush it aside simply because it's an inferior. Can we get that whole sentence again?
Come after The Dark Knight, I feel like viewers would treat the film differently. But just because the film isn't as good as The Dark Knight doesn't mean we should brush it aside as an inferior sequel. While The Dark Knight was a crime drama, The Dark Knight Rises is essentially a war movie with some post-apocalyptic undertones. Batman is...
I don't care about the undertones.
You're saying that like all people want is a crime drama. And this isn't a crime drama, so it's a different thing. So go in with that. No, I don't care if it's about whatever it's about. I'm talking about the story, the plot, whatever.
The characters.
I'm not looking at crime drama versus war movie. No,
with apocalyptic undertone.
I don't give a I'm talking about 6 mile radius bomb, 1 minute, he got away.
And I mean, hundreds of miles away.
I'm talking about them showing us something and lying. Oh, you thought he was in there? Yeah, because you showed him in there.
With like 6 seconds left.
What were we supposed to think but the thing that you showed us?
And you know, when I first watched this movie, the very last time I watched this movie was probably like 6, 7 years ago. When I watched it at that time, I always was of the mindset that, hey, maybe he's dead and Alfred, you know, he's just hallucinating and that's just... No, the pearls are gone. There would be no reason for them to be gone.
There's so much. There's evidence for and against it. And
there's not enough evidence against. Not even close.
There's not. But it's the biggest thing of, well, we saw him in the cockpit.
With 4 seconds left.
4 seconds. He would have to be a wizard to get out of that. So it's like,
no, we saw him on the seat and look back.
All this stuff. But the motherfucker was there.
He wasn't in the cockpit. We all know that. We saw the seat and him look back a little bit.
We just have to assume that the movie is lying to us in order for that to be...
It's a like, purposeful
why
misdirect.
Would this movie lie to us?
This is purely for the audience.
But then again, this is also the same movie that was just like, hey, your name is Robin. Looks at the camera.
She said it with her back turned, to be fair.
That is so lazy. You want to spoon feed your audience, but you also want to be like, make your own conclusion. Is he alive or is he dead? But also, no, this is Robin. You know, his partner. Yeah, this is that guy. That's his name.
Why would he go try my legal name and just not make it the legal name of one of the Robins?
Because then you have to go, oh, that was that guy. Like, whatever that movie was where they're just like, oh, we've got all these lists of people, blah, 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 Stephen Strange, blah, blah, blah. And you go, oh, Stephen Strange. I know that person.
Cap 2, I believe.
Cap 2. So you go, oh, I know Stephen Strange, but the person next to you was just like, who's Stephen Strange? So if you go, Tim Drake, oh my goodness, the next person.
If you're in a Batman movie and you don't know Dick Grayson or Tim Drake, you should not be allowed to clap when somebody says Robin. You shouldn't be allowed. You don't deserve to clap.
But some people might not know all the Robins. They might know
there are two Robins that are the most mainstream of Robins. If you don't know one of their names, you do not get to clap at the name Robin.
But then everybody knows Robin. Point blank, that's his ward. Who knows when you're looking at Robin? What like Joe Average comic book guy just knows which Robin that is by looking at
Joe Average comic guy should, because there's barely anybody buying comics, so if you're one of them, you should know which Robin you're looking at. Now I can understand if you're looking at a Teen Titans, and without them saying the name Dick, and without them going in the future and seeing the Nightwing episode, which Robin is this? Sure.
It could have been done better. We'll say that.
It couldn't have been done worse.
Not a single way it could have been done worse. This is a horrible ratio.
Awful.
Movie as much as one would expect, as most of the time he is struggling to return to the hero he once was. The movie's a near 3-hour-long epic which takes its time. It builds up momentum little by little, showing glimpses of what the antagonist and his cohorts are planning by separating these stories until they all eventually coincide when Gotham falls under terrorist attack.
You mean like a story?
Like a story? Like a thing that happens in most media with multiple people?
Doing multiple different things and then it converges.
Come together instead of just, hey, I want to be a banker, I want to be a superhero, and they just never meet up, and it's just these two different stories happening on different sides of town. Oh, that sounds like it would suck nuts. Oh, thank you, Dark Knight Rises, for having characters with similar interests in the similar place doing similar things. Wow. Dang, that is to be lauded. I need Skillshare to tell me to write characters who have similar interests. If the character...
This is what the creative writing was for.
This is what
This is how you converge all your plot points into a single area so it all concludes consecutively in the same place.
Mr. Teacher, I have a book about a kindergartner and a CEO. The first half is about the kindergartner, the second half is about the CEO. What am I doing wrong?
Have him adopt the kid.
Oh! I was just doing this girl like dollies, and this man doing a hostile takeover. Put them together. Don't just have two stories.
It's a hostile takeover of her life.
Oh my goodness.
And then the themes.
And what are the themes?
Family.
Family, that's the number one. Togetherness.
Togetherness was literally acceptance.
Shut the up.
Work-life balance. Boy,
sort of like a cooling down, because it's gonna be a hard-nosed CEO man.
Yeah,
and the little girl's gonna chip away at that exterior, so it's gonna be. This is.
finding humanity we thought we'd lost.
Yeah.
In innocence of a child.
And then he's gonna be in a hostile takeover. This is gonna be like, we're gonna take over this company. We're gonna fire all these people. He's gonna be sitting there looking at a picture of his adopted daughter and just goes, no, it'll be a nice takeover. And then that dude will just be like, you've lost your touch, Johnson.
Johnson was the person I was thinking of.
This is...
We're a terrible writer. But watch this would be a Netflix show or something that would get canceled after one season.
It's Christmas.
Oh, dude. Hey, the non-Johnson CEO just think this is their final party.
This sounds horrible.
And the Johnson CEO is gonna see the little girl and just go, I can't ruin their Christmas because it reminds me of my little girl now. She has taught me.
The lesson at the end. Pan out to this big, luscious Thanksgiving dinner with all of her friends, and he's got all these kids running around his house, and he's just like, he's just got kind of like a face on him, and it's just pulling out. I do not like this.
A birthday party? The first birthday party is just a bunch of hired friends, and then a year passes, and it's a bunch of actual friends. It's like people trying to suck up to Johnson so they get their kids to the party, but now it's her actual friends from like the local school or something. And it's a much lower key party with only like 5 or 6 people, but she enjoys herself so much more than the lavish one they had before.
This is the templates of a story. This is just
what more could you
have your story have heart. And it's just like rough man, little girl, change life, better happy family, boy.
Hey, this is The Last of Us.
But at its core, it's a character study. It's about a broken man.
You mean like most movies tend to be? Is Black Panther not a character study? Is Spider-Man not a character study? Is Captain Marvel not a character study?
It's not about what it is. It's about how well that it does the thing that it is. Yes, it is a character story about a broken man or whatever. But that broken man gets a magical knee brace. Don't have him have the up knee. Why? And you won't need the knee brace.
Why not? Why isn't his whole body just the knee brace? Why not put it on the other knee if he's kicking down brick walls?
If you got that technology, you could just...
And let's not forget that both of his shoulders are up too. I ain't seen no braces on them.
Who welcomes death because he has nothing left to lose. The film blends everything Nolan's good at, from characters to grand set pieces to a plot with a bit of a twist, and whether or not he executed this smoothly is up to you. I'm just here to inform you that the movie is a lot better than what everyone's been saying.
Pause. So if it's up to you to figure out how smoothly he did these things, but then it's just like, no, but it is better though. What is better about it if it's up to our interpretation about how smoothly he did things like character?
Yeah. Set pieces. Okay, it's the city.
You don't owe these people anymore. You've given them everything.
Not everything.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I have forgotten the voice.
It's parody.
I have truly forgotten the voice until because I was watching. I was like, why is he growling like that? When he was talking to Gordon, I was like, oh, because he doesn't have his voice modulator. And then I went, oh no, that's Ben Affleck. This is his voice.
It's so easy and good.
Affleck
it's so
did it
much better, and you just see Alfred working on it. You don't need to just go, oh, it's on the fritz again. I need that to describe my voice. So that no. It's a voice modulator. Easy. So you don't just... That's the thing that Mubs is talking about. That's what it is.
Where's the tree? Where Miranda?
It's
Why?
it's a bad. Why was that? You got people.
Dude,
Come on now.
You know Nolan, because he wanted that Bane voice to be
incomprehensible. with a voice modulator, with a mechanical voice.
That guy can get the modulator.
But I need to sit down. I would love to sit down with a Dark Knight Rises or Dark Knight lover, the trilogy lover. Just be like, how about the voice? It's a perfect movie. But what about the voice? It can't be a perfect movie with that. This is baby levels.
This is an art student making. This is High Top Film or whoever making that Robin movie.
You can disguise your voice without being comical like this. Go back to Kevin Conroy and listen to Batman versus Bruce Wayne. There was this clip of Adam West doing this phone thing where he's
the Batman,
pretending
I love that.
like he's talking to Batman as
Bruce Wayne,
and you can just hear the voice difference, and
he sounds like more meek with it too.
Yeah, and somebody's like, every Batman should audition with this part right here, just to showcase. Here's how you can switch from this person to this person almost instantaneously. Have it be the same person. Have it be noticeably the same person. But have it be almost completely different.
How did the new Batman do it? Was it a voice modulator?
The new Batman?
Yeah, the Batman.
Oh,
I truly don't remember how he was speaking.
I also don't remember.
That's crazy. I like that movie.
I don't think he talked that much. And he talked with Jim. I think that you could cover that up with just going Bruce Wayne as a recluse so people wouldn't really know his voice.
Yeah, that's fair.
That mask is also really bad. Go back. It's just this little bit of chin sticking out. The man can't move his head.
It's not a great mask.
It's not a good mask. It stinks.
He always looks like he has derp mouth when he's in it. Like, I don't...
In the film, Bruce Wayne hasn't been Batman for 8 years, but not just that, he hasn't even left his house in 8 years.
I heard he never leaves these.
What script? What's this?
It's to make sure people... Wait, did he just actually take the script? Why?
Anyway, surely he would, unless he's not training. He can't train because he got a bum leg.
Yeah,
so he's
that's
losing
why
out.
Bane killed him in that first time, and then he did a bunch of push-ups, and he put the hands to Bane.
Surely you're losing out on your 8 years of ninjaing. You can't just hop back into being a ninja.
Didn't he do just that?
Yes, he did, but he shouldn't have.
Are we not remembering him eluding machine gun fire in a tight space on a bum knee, magical bum knee, after not being a ninja for 8 years? You don't just lose. That's like riding a bike, a ninja bike.
I heard he had an accident. Yeah, that he's disfigured.
A shut-in neat, Bruce Wayne has isolated himself from the world, a world that has forgotten him, and is
the world hasn't forgotten him. He shut himself off. Yeah. So he's shut himself off. So that's why they forgot him. It's not that like, oh, we forgot about Bruce Wayne and then he shut himself off. You did the thing that caused them to forget about you. Don't act like you some kind of dark brooding figure. And also, I think it's very dumb. He can absolutely... Why doesn't he just... He's like, my job is done. Let me continue. Let me live my life. Let me find
As the Bruce Wayne.
Let me find some semblance of a life. But he just goes, no. Oh, no. Doesn't that make you...
He's the ultimate simp. Lost his love that didn't even choose him. And he pushed his friend away and lost 8 years of his life over it.
Alfred read that letter like, oh, he gonna be swinging. Let me just burn this bitch. It's like, now let's say there was a letter that...
Rachel wrote me a letter?
No, hold on. Sit down.
Where's the letter?
demonized the hero he once was due to a lie to aid the city in its fight against corruption and crime, with Harvey Dent becoming a martyr. And surprisingly, it's working, but a lie can only stay hidden for so long, and Bruce knows
it would have stayed if not for Jim Gordon writing an actual letter about this and keeping it in his same
This was
bracket.
all a lie. This is the town, the piece is built on a lie. This is me, Jim Gordon, saying this. If anybody was to ever get this and read this, know that this is 100% true. Signed, Jim Gordon, the man writing this letter.
P.S. I resign. And then I'm just gonna keep that letter in my pocket as I go and look for a criminal underworld or get captured or whatever. Like, what are we doing here?
It's nuts. You don't do this. It's just not good writing to just be like, here is the thing that changes the entirety of the people's perception. And
writing.
And they just believe it. This man who just
Here's Jim Gordon's letter.
Literally, man, was just like, I got a bomb and I'm gonna blow all y'all up. But also, here's Jim Gordon's letter. And he just does this little head shake, which I just always like, oh, he said this. Girl.
this. Gordon knows this, and eventually the lie catches up to both of them in the form.
What does the lie do to taper crime? Does it work? Does it make criminals? Does it make the police work harder?
This law allowed for, I would assume it allowed for less, like, we need warrants, we need probable cause.
Harsher punishments as well and stuff.
Yeah, something like that maybe. I don't know the intricacies of this law, but it definitely did something for the police force.
Of Bane, fully knowing exactly what's been going on in Gotham.
Oh, he does it. He got a letter.
Yeah, oh, wow.
We pick up Bruce Wayne 8 years after the events of The Dark Knight. And the reason for that passage of time is we wanted to really look at the consequences of the actions that he and Commissioner Gordon took at the end of The Dark Knight. And
pause. What consequence? I guess, but you can do that in 5 years. Yeah. You can do that in 3 years.
And it'd be more believable because in 8 years, you're losing that muscle mass. You're gonna be nothing. And some push-ups ain't gonna help you be a big beef monster when you ain't got protein, and worried about death, and you don't have rest time and crap like that.
You skipping all leg days.
You can't do leg day.
Sacrifice to have meaning, it has to have been successful. And so at least superficially, we're dealing with a Gotham that doesn't need Batman anymore. On the surface of things, looks much better. And so you've got a Bruce Wayne who has locked himself away in self-imposed isolation in a wing of Wayne Manor, much in the manner of Howard Hughes in his Las Vegas period. And really our story picks up with the idea of this is a guy who's, as Alfred said, hung up his cape and his cowl, but he hasn't moved on. He's sort of stuck in this moment in time, or this emotional phase of his life.
Bruce is told,
and that's the problem. I don't believe that he would be that.
I do, because despite what people say, Bruce Wayne is an emotionally stunted child. Absolutely. And he is weak. But emotionally, but
outside of the I'ma do the nuclear fusion, cold fusion, whatever,
and I'm the only one.
You would think that he would be doing something, some sort of activism or philanthropy or something to be like, I still want to help.
He did with the fusion, and then
it failed, and he just went, I'ma just throw it in the basement. I hope it ain't gonna be a bomb. We can easily be turned into a bomb within an hour? Oh.
All right, let's flood it then. Oh, we're not gonna flood it? Cool. Why keep it? If his whole thing was, even if that dude doesn't do it, someone eventually will do it. Yeah. So why keep it?
You got a nuke downstairs and you're just like, well, nobody's using it right now, but somebody can easily use it. So maybe get rid of it. It's a failure. You said it was a failure. We have so far not needed to watch this movie.
By Alfred from the very beginning of the film that he's essentially suicidal, even though Bruce opposes that fact. Having lost Rachel, the woman he loved, someone he wanted to spend the rest of his life with in the last film, he acts like someone who has no reason to live. In the film, we're told that crime is at
So then you find a reason to live.
He can't. He's a weak man. He's an emotionally stunted child.
I don't think we've got enough of this Bruce Wayne to show that he's such a weak man.
That's fair.
An all-time low, and that means Batman isn't even needed. Bruce only becomes Batman again when a new threat emerges, doing so out of duty, out of responsibility. He essentially leaves his house because John Blake tells him.
So crime is way, way down, but it's not eliminated.
No,
so isn't it still
eliminate crime.
Your duty, a sense of responsibility? Because if one person gets shot and you could have prevented it, is that not going to weigh heavily on your mind?
Yeah. What caused the duty of this instance? Because Bane was there. Did he know about? Yeah, I just watched this movie, dude. I can't remember if he knew about Bane before the stock exchange or after.
Yeah.
Nope, he did. He knew about him before.
That funds are not being sent over to a boys' home. He leaves not necessarily because he wants to, and when he is Batman for the first half of the film, he is on a mission to defeat Bane, fully understanding that doing so without...
That ski mask thing was so stupid.
I get things the fast me. Ski mask. I fucked up the whole lyrics.
You did. But...
Okay,
who just came into my room? Oh, that was Bruce Wayne. Oh, he didn't just come into my room? Who just scaled the building? Oh.
Did you recently have somebody in a suit here?
Hey, check the cameras. Oh, Bruce Wayne went into that mug? Oh, he Batman. Oh.
But Gordon never cared. So he wouldn't ask.
The curiosity. 8 years.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't care.
8 years.
He doesn't know. He doesn't care.
He knew.
He knew at the end somehow because that was the only
or coat as a kid.
That was the only
I
put
a lot of coats on a lot of kids, kid. Who are you? You gotta narrow that down a little bit, my guy.
Just a smidge more.
My God, I'm a cop. If I'm not shooting, I'm
in Gotham. All it is killing and coating. Killing and coating.
One term begins, the other ends. It's a cycle, all right? I'm putting coats over dead people that I shot. I don't know. Who was that? He's flying away like, wait!
You not listening?
Hey, I know you trying to be dramatic. You ain't got time, but just say your name. You about to die. Don't be Riddle. Don't be some kind of Riddler.
Proper preparation will cost him his life. Being Batman is all Bruce has left.
I did find someone.
I know, and you lost them, but that's all part of living, sir. But you're not living, you're just waiting, hoping for things to go bad again.
It's all about Bruce's journey towards discovering the value of life by fearing death. That's what the movie is all about, and it's incredibly intimate.
The value of his life by fearing death, because if he does not fear death, he is not truly living.
It's really just the rope thing.
One way or another. One way or another. Either swinging or jumping. It's all about the rope.
That rope is going to be the beginning or the end of me.
Are usually quiet and thought-provoking. There aren't really comedic...
What? Everything is thought-provoking if it elicits some type of thinking from the person watching it. Velma is thought-provoking! It's a horrible show!
Now calm down. We haven't seen episode 3.
You think they're gonna turn it around on episode 3?
All it takes is one.
To turn the entire series. When she wakes up and it was all a dream and she's actually just Velma.
Yep. Easily. And you're just like, oh, you thought. Can you go back? I want to hear that.
Oh, the ratio!
Waiting, hoping for things to go bad again.
It's all about Bruce's journey towards discovering the value of life by fearing death.
Go back! Look at that guy on the right that gets... Look at the guy on the right that gets kicked by Catwoman.
It's all about Bruce's journey towards discovering the value of life by fearing death.
That was horrible! He just kind of stood there.
There were a lot of standing.
There was a lot of standing weights, as it were.
That's what the movie is all about, and it's incredibly intimate. Character building moments are usually quiet and thought-provoking. There aren't really...
Character building moments are usually quiet and thought-provoking. Isn't that...
What's the last superhero movie that had loud character moments? Mostly loud character moments.
I guess like Avengers, I'm Always Angry, Big Hulk Punch.
But then you got
but there was so much before that.
And you got Tony and Cap just like, who are you without that suit? And you won't make the sacrifice play.
What does he mean by that? Why is quiet character building moments are usually quiet and thought-provoking? Why? As opposed to what? He's
something loud and boisterous?
Like what? Legit. Who? Where? The end of Suicide Squad, the first one, where he's just like, you ain't gonna touch my family, and he big fire monsters out.
But then they literally sat in a bar quietly 15 minutes before the end.
They did. They did. This is not a point of praise if so many things do this that I can't think of.
But how many times do we say that?
It's crazy how mobs just go, this thing is worthy of praise. And they have to be like, oh, I'm not going to mention anything else, but this thing is worth. You have to just go, oh, I guess we're not talking about all the other things that just do this. Not the fact that it's good, not any of the conversations, not the words, not how they inform any characters or anything. Just simply that they're quiet and thought-provoking. And we just have to be like, oh yeah, it is. No quality, no qualifiers here.
Are you telling me that this praise he just heaped could not be put on Eternals?
It could.
Eternals is horrible.
So horrible that it took you in 8 months to watch it.
But I watched it.
I'll see you in 8 months when you watch Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
It crashed my system. My movie theater. My bad. It crashed my movie theater.
That being said, there has been movies that I've watched and it just sort of crashes and it's like, here's a free movie ticket. This was not one of them, as you illegally torrented it.
That is a falsity, sir. I did not illegally torrent that movie. I used Cody.
Fair enough. I will see you in 8 months for your review of that movie. Because you are a coward who will never watch it.
I will watch it.
In 8 months.
I will watch it when there's a better version of it now. Because after it crashed, it's just like, okay.
I wasn't even into this.
Yeah, I gotta watch a bad version. Like, no. Now I'll just wait for the actual version.
Oh.
And I think that comes out in like March or something.
I've heard so many bad things about it.
I've heard a lot of bad things. I've heard a lot of it's better than one. And that's not saying much, but it's better than one.
I'm starting to hear more and more bad. I think the shine is coming off of it.
That's what always happens. They see it in 4DX, and then suddenly, oh my god, oh my god. And the story, I saw somebody today that was like, the runtime isn't an issue, because if you pay attention to the plot, it just goes. And it's like, what? What are you talking about? You can feel your ass falling asleep hour at one. Even if you're engaged with the plot.
It's just sitting there and just like, all right, how about we
I understand I am in a movie theater and I've been here an hour and a half.
I got other things that I would prefer to be doing.
Never happened with Coco. You know, Justice League is probably the movie I've seen the second most in theaters. I think I watched Justice League 4 times in the movie theater.
Comedic punchlines in the film, everything is delivered with nuance and maximum impact so the viewer...
So that's what that feels like!
That is nuanced, and it has maximum impact.
Yeah, from our laughing movie theater that pissed you off to no end.
You will never forget that.
Dude, it's one of the... It's just... And I can't replicate it. It's just your face afterwards. You looked around so angrily and disgusted at the fact that these people would give even the mirthiest of laughter to this. Just looked around immediately like, that's what y'all sound like. It was such a middle finger to other people's enjoyment of a moment.
I was not enjoying it.
It confronts the emotional struggle the characters are dealing with head on.
I'm sorry.
He's just saying shit.
He's saying a lot of words, y'all.
There aren't really comedic punchlines in the film. Everything...
That's what that feels...
...is delivered with nuance and maximum impact so the viewer confronts the emotional struggle the characters are dealing with head on.
Did they kill her?
Pause. And this is after the world's greatest thief is just walking through an airport and he just goes, hey, come on over here. World's greatest thief, Selena Kyles.
Why don't you slide on over here?
Hey, aren't you the person that everyone is looking for? Hey, aren't you one of the most wanted people on earth and you're just here with your normal hair and your normal face just walking through this bit? I know you. But we're not talking about that because it's this moment.
Yeah, the nuance of this moment of just going, I don't know if he's dead. Masterful. The nuance, the impact.
Sure. Batman is a symbol, but what about Bruce Wayne? Will he...
See, that's the moment right there. He just looks back, he's just got to see, he's looking back and making sure the autopilot is working correctly.
As he is...
not currently in the thing now. He's ejected into a smaller pod of
Batman
of
is
the
a
thing. See, it's doing it by itself. He's looking
Wayne?
back
Will
at it.
Where was
what?
Where was?
You've never seen Batman eject from his bat plane and be in a little smaller?
I have.
It was after the building. It was during the building explosion. We never saw what happened behind the building explosion. And he just went away.
So he's just looking with his in Byakugan as it flies 6 miles out.
Yeah.
What is he looking at?
Making sure the autopilot does work. See? Nuance.
Because of Batman. If he chose to...
What is that light going across his face?
He's still flying. He's
Where?
not flying in the thing.
What pod did he eject?
In his pod. What do you mean?
So he has a smaller flying pod?
Yeah, that's what the autopilot's for. So he can eject and fly away. So the autopilot does its thing. You've never seen Batman do that?
No, not with another flying pod. How does it propel itself?
You don't read enough comics.
How does it propel itself?
Jets.
Jets? Jets? How does it propel itself? Jets? Jets?
Oh, we're done with that. We're on Batman.
We're moving on.
To accept death, he would
show
become
the people.
And will he die because of Batman? If he chose to accept death, he would become a self-sacrificing character like Bane and would die for his cause. That's why Bane and his League of Shadows, or technically Talia and her League of Shadows, are the perfect antagonist to Batman in this film. While
thematic opposites.
Thematic opposites. you thought
we never
that they were the same, but they're thematic opposites. You see, it's like we were talking about in the Discord with the Sound 4. All those fights
What are y'all doing?
Thematic opposites. You got a big guy who loves to eat and he's such a glutton that he's stealing people's chakra. But you got the kind-hearted eating man who eats for his friends. Then you got the guy who's got such a vision, who can see so precisely, and he's evil and he's targeting from far away. But then you got the guy who can see such far away with the great vision, but he's up close and personal and he da-da-da-da-da. Then you got the two evil people who are together, working together. But then you got the two good people that are working together. Do you see how it's all thematic opposites? Kishimoto's such brainzilla. It's
you can do that with, I mean,
yes, you
anything.
Can. Yes, you can.
It's crazy.
But that's how people talk about it like that. Can you not imagine?
No, I can.
There you go. This fight was important for Neji because he had to fight someone who was essentially him back in the tuning exams. So he had to beat him. That type of crap.
It can't be. Well, it can be.
It is.
It's crazy. I wish we never started this channel. I would be better off without this knowledge.
Without the forbidden knowledge.
That there are people like this out here going thematic opposite of things.
And then that's the point of thematic. Look at the thematic opposites.
Joker in The Dark Knight was the opposite of Batman. Bane is almost the same as Batman, completely blinded by a belief, a crusade that they believe to be morally righteous. One they're willing to die.
What are you doing, Headlock Man?
What's Bane's morally righteous in his eyes?
Yes, I understand going, this town, this city is corrupt and everything, but you must realize there are children here who have nothing to do with the corruption, who can always break out of the cycle of corruption and all this crap. You can't just be like, everybody needs to die, because that's simply not fair. You're here, so you're benefiting in some way by this.
You were born in this city, so clearly you deserve to die.
I live in Crime Alley. My life is a nightmare. I'm scraping by it down in Walmart.
Then you should be thanking me for ending this miserable existence.
I am.
Next question.
I'm happy in my meager life. I don't want
but
for
have
much.
You know true happiness, brother.
What?
The liberation!
No! I don't. I'd like to go back to I enjoy my job!
No, you'd think you
No,
do,
you don't!
Because you've been shackled both mind and body.
No! I like helping people, and my job allows me to. No, you don't get to work there anymore.
You must help yourself.
Now you're the people. We're giving it back to the people. Your
Are you
job
a person?
is our job, comrade.
My pain is your pain.
What? Yeah, take what you want. Go out and just steal stuff. Okay, how does this economy work long term, Mr. Bane? I steal this TV.
It's yours.
It's yours. Take it. Okay, I steal that TV, but then that TV gets stolen from me. Now I don't have a TV, and I have no means of going.
Steal another.
Plenty of TVs out there.
Who's gonna stop you?
just get it. I don't know. What? Just do it. Here it is. You didn't think about this, Bane. You can't just like anarchy.
Shoot him.
We have any more questions? Any more questions about my ruling? Okay.
I thought not.
We're free to do anything. Should I be free to question you? You get free to take this bullet.
The bullet is it costs 30 cents.
Oh, this stinks.
Oh my God!
Bane,
Talia, and Batman never left the screen before we got to next text.
No.
That's one of us in the wreckage, brother.
The fire stuff.
Yes, the fire rises.
And that's what
That
separates...
part, that is not how anybody talks.
That's how Bane talks.
The fire, yes. Have we started a fire? Yes, the fire rises. What do you mean by that?
Is it not the Dark Knight Rises? Is rising not a theme in this movie?
It is a theme, but that's not. You don't just say something and be like, this ties into the theme when it's not something that somebody would say.
Is
he
Bane
could be like, this is
somebody-
the spark that starts the fire.
The fire
It's a
stuff?
small ember, brother, but it will burn brightly in time. Not
people talk
the
like
fire
that?
rises.
His was more concise.
The fire rises. What do you mean the fire rises?
It's rising.
It's rising. Mm-hmm. That's something, but what do you mean it rises?
What does the fire do? It rises.
That's one of the things that it does.
Okay, then. So Bane is technically correct.
Well, we're going technically correct. Anybody
Isn't
can be
that the
technically
best
correct.
type of correct?
It's one of technically.
It's Batman from Bane, ultimately. Will Bruce Wayne die for his city as well? Not just Batman.
When it is done, and Gotham is ashes, then you have my permission to die.
We don't talk about Bane enough.
Pause.
If there's...
Go back. Bane rises.
Yeah.
Leaves, Wayne drifts back into unconsciousness.
That's how screenplays are written.
I know, but Bane rises. It sounds so stupid. Did old man just rock out there? Just like, oh, thanks for helping me get out. And did he go back for him? Or was he just like, enjoy your nightmare? What did he do to get there? He might have been. He did throw the rope. But there's so many. You can't just be like, everybody here, they don't deserve to be. No, there's has to be some people that deserve to be there. And they didn't earn that. The whole thing is about earning your freedom. And he's just like,
yeah, I've earned it, but now I am liberating you as Bane liberated Gotham. Mm-hmm. Except my liberation is the correct moral liberation.
No, it's not.
In that,
no, it's not.
You people have suffered enough. And now it's time for you to reintegrate.
They got 3 hots in a cot.
And now they can
Who's feeding them?
The fire.
Technically, yes.
There's a villain that should get talked about more, it's this guy. Incredibly imposing, with a creepy mask and a weird-ass voice that you can't even understand unless you have subtitles on, Bane feels...
And that's a positive. I remember in the movie theaters, I couldn't understand 80% of what he said. And it's like, well, I can't enjoy the dialogue
because I don't know what he wants to do because he's Aryan. But
because he's Aryan. That's the way Bane talks. How would you describe Bane's speech pattern? Oh, Aryan.
But my Bane is also heavily colored by the Harley Quinn Bane, which is the greatest thing to be put on any sort of media in this world because that's exactly what I wanted.
But that's not fair.
It's because honestly not fair.
Harley Quinn has painted many a character. And
ruined, you mean?
There will never be another King Shark. There will never be another Clayface except the Harley Quinn ones.
In the Suicide Squad, the game, I'm just like, yo, King Shark. And I'm like, that's not my King Shark. I don't know that guy. But he goes, Bane is imposing. Imposing for what reason?
He's big.
You're a big guy, but Tom Hardy's like...
Dog, that line is horrible.
If I take that mask off when you die, it will be extremely painful. You're a big guy. For you. See, people don't talk like that.
That's editing. No, but that's an editing problem because it would be extremely painful for you. And that's, I believe, what was the dialogue that was said. And then they just cut in a guy saying, you're a big guy. But that doesn't... Oh, wait, no. I think those lines were just delivered horribly. I'm just not realizing it. So the thing is, it'll be extremely painful. And he's going, well, you're a big guy, so you can take the pain. And then Bane just goes, no, for you.
No, you didn't understand what I meant when I said it would be extremely painful. I meant, I was referring to, wait, you're walking away. I need to continue my monologue.
I think those lines were just delivered horribly and edited horribly.
No, that's what it was.
This is a bad movie.
That line does not... It's a dude that's just like, I want to deliver my punchline. I'm going to do it no matter what you say. So it's just like...
Hey, knock, knock.
Hey, no. If it's Mike going, bronies, they are the 1%.
He should be thanking his stars that is gone forever. Cause it is legitimately the worst thing I have possibly ever heard in my life. Brody, they are the 1%, like 4 or 5 times. I don't even want to make fun of him. I just feel bad for the guy. If Mike was here, I'd give him a hug, like legit. God, I'm so mad that clip show is gone.
A malevolent entity that steals every single scene he's in. He doesn't even have to do anything. He just has to stand there.
He's better than this bad thing.
That's not good enough.
Well, I think one of the most interesting things about Batman, Bruce Wayne and Batman, is...
Say it. His rogue galleries are the thematic opposite of him. Say it, Nolan. Please say it. Do it.
It's a mirror of him.
Do it. You have to.
You're looking at a guy who, particularly as Christian Bale has portrayed it, I find it a very moving struggle. It's a guy who has suffered this terrible trauma as a child, and he's filled with negative things. He's filled with anger and rage, a desire for revenge. But he has this very moving struggle to try and do something positive with that, to try and make something good from that. And so any time you can put him up against a threat, I think it's so much more interesting if the threat is not just to the safety and prosperity of the people of Gotham, but also a threat to his own philosophy, his own way of life. Something that...
That's a villain!
So many villains are like that.
That's not anything unique, Nolan!
Lex Luthor is Superman's greatest foe because of this exact reason.
Freaking Norman Osborn busted into his auntie's house and just like, you better finish your prayer, cause you gonna need it.
I mean, all Norman did in the first Spider-Man movie was attack Spider-Man's ideology of you can't save everyone, they'll hate you eventually, hero, so why not actually do some good in the world by joining up with me?
His skin, and in some way represents a path he could have taken.
At a certain point in the movie, John Daggett, played by Ben Mendelsohn, has no control over the plot, and it's Bane that's been using Daggett. There's no, "it was me all along" moment. All Bane does is essentially...
Okay, in this moment, there was not a "it was me all along."
I mean,
but literally,
technically, isn't it? It was me all along with Bane being the one that was going, "It was me all along."
I'm going, it was Talia at the end going, "It was me all along." You're praising this moment for "there was no, it was me all along." But literally in like 3.5 hours when the movie ends, it's Talia going, "Nah, but me though."
Bleh.
The fire. And she just slowly just like, "I am dead now."
She had an interview or something where she was like, "I don't know why they used that one. I did so many takes of that death. I don't know why they chose
she
that."
Just sort of slumped over like, "Let me just go ahead."
Fade Daggett's face and caress his face almost as if consoling a child, while at the same time preparing him for the inevitable outcome.
Fade, you feel in control.
Do you feel just one soft hand on his shoulder? Do you feel in control? It's such good.
That's good. That's the goodness that I want.
Gotham's reckoning.
But that stuff, I'm Gotham's reckoning. That just sounds so cheesy. I don't like that. Because again, who would talk like that?
I gave you a small fortune. And you think this gives you power over me?
That's a good line. But I'm Gotham's reckoning?
What time you've all been living on?
What
did he just say?
What did he just say?
Outcome.
Of Gotham's reckoning. Here to end the borrowed time you've all been living on.
Here to end the borrowed time you've all been living on.
To truly understand how absolutely terrifying this character is, the film starts by introducing him and his resources, similar to the Joker in The Dark Knight.
It is 6 guys jumping out of a plane.
It is a very improbable. It could have been done so much. Why did he have to be up in the air before they just go, well, I hope they can freaking...
Because of it needed a plane crash, so it looked like old dude died.
Okay, so hijack it and then take the plane off.
And then jump out and let the plane crash.
Yes.
They needed to make sure it would crash the correct way.
The correct way.
Yeah, nose down, no survivors.
Do you know how improbable it is for people to survive a plane crash at all?
Yo, why chance it?
Why chance what?
Jets.
The chance. The fire.
Most interesting about Bane is that he seems to have a messiah complex to me, believing himself to be the one who can truly cause the destruction of Gotham, further honoring Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
He doesn't even believe that it's Talia's words. He's just following orders, essentially.
I am the League of Shadows. I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
He's a part of the plan.
How he cannot say Ra's al Ghul very well. So every time he said it, he says it a little too quickly. So to cover up his poor pronunciation of Ra's al Ghul.
He wants to see Gotham burn, and he also wants Batman to be torn down.
Cool shot.
Down and burn along with it, knowing full well that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
I did not know that guy died for a very long time.
It blew up. It blowed up.
It didn't look like it did.
The mayor blowed up.
It didn't look like it.
He's someone.
Oh, I'm ripping it in half.
He's a liar.
Oh, you're this guy.
Dramatic.
Deep, isn't it? This month just took a Skillshare course. I have so much pesos, Rip. You're not using that word right, babe.
This is my agency in the story. Bang, no.
No, you can't just announce that you're... Well, why not?
That's what
it easier for the audience.
That's what the Skillshare course is for, babe.
Guys,
You're
I
on lesson
skimmed
3. No, babe. You can't 1.5 this. Please listen to the word.
Reckoning. No, I know,
but the fees rises.
That's $167. It's yours. We can take it, right? That's your plan. Why are you asking me?
Shoot that guy.
We don't have governing bodies over an internet-based company. Who knows where it is, Bane? We need to pay for these things. And people just watching them argue like, what did he say about Gordon? A bomb?
He said something about a bomb in there at one point.
Not fear dying, he decides to torture him by making him watch the one thing he cares about crumble to pieces, his city. It's here where Bane is wrong, because he believes...
You can't just show that back fixing thing. I understand his back wasn't broken, but what kind of back alley chiropractic is just string him up, punch him in his spine, and yeah, you're good. You will never have another issue with your back.
He doesn't need to worry about his back because he's dying soon. Or retiring, whichever way the wind blows on this one.
Whichever one you believe, audience. Skillshare.
that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but doesn't understand that Batman is an idea. It's meant to represent the fight for justice and doing what's...
Grand opening, grand closing.
No, it's the Joker. I'm an idea.
Yeah.
You don't... Why are you saying this like it's some sort of revelation?
Because it doesn't... It's not a revelation, but it informs the path he's taking with explaining the video.
I hate the words on screen so much.
They could... I don't mind words on screen, but they should not be this long and this frequent. I can understand if it's like chapter 1, such and such.
That's good. But this?
Yeah, this is filth.
Right. A symbol of what heroes should be. At the start of the film, while Batman hasn't been seen for years...
He's a symbol of what heroes should be, but in the first movie, he's just like, I'm not killing you, but I'm not saving you.
No guns. No death.
Wait,
no. Catwoman literally killed some people in front of me right now.
But it's not like you have to face justice for what you did. You have to face the criminal system and show that this is the right way. Nah. You gotta die, homie.
People in the streets believe Batman to be a guardian angel gone missing, while the police demonize him. It's through the events of the movie that people, and especially the police, begin to realize that Batman is a hero. Again, a symbol of...
because Bane literally goes, oh wait, no. Batman saved Commissioner Gordon's son from the evil Harvey Dent. So maybe he not the monster y'all thought.
Maybe y'all should think about this just a little bit. And just go, oh, Batman just disappeared after killing somebody. After he did not kill somebody for 3 years.
Bruce being Batman isn't a necessity, then why did he come back?
No, that's feeding into the Robin. Anybody can be Batman because it's just an idea that inspires the people. He doesn't even need to do anything. Just having him
literally
there.
Rallied against people being Batman in the second film.
Yeah, but that was the theme of that film, and this is the theme of
He says in Nolan films!
The first and the second one.
No!
The first and the third one, not the second one.
This is convenient bullshit!
Yeah, that's a technicality, that is.
Justice and decide to take back their city. They even use his bat symbol during their reconnaissance missions, and eventually when Bruce Wayne returns to Gotham, the physical embodiment of the Batman symbol, he lights up his logo on the bridge, and immediately, if you have a job, a duty, you know what's required of you. Batman is telling you it's time to fight.
Pause. And we've talked about this
so many times.
It's so bad.
It's not great.
Of just, there is a literal ticking bomb that's going down. And you go, now hold on a second there, player. I gotta hope that the oil or gas or grease or whatever I'm using will form a flaming bat, and the people will see that it's a bat and not just go, is that a big W? Is that for Wayne? Is he back, or what are you doing?
Where are the ears?
What is this thing in the sky? And it's got to burn for a good amount of time. It's got to burn in that exact way. And
not burn the bridge down.
And it's just like, this is the best way to do it. Not even just the light. Not just go, I'm gonna put a flashlight in the Batarang and just go, y'all see this? But no.
Or a bunch of bat signals over a bunch of skies. It's just like, hey, go deliver these to rooftops.
But this is a waste of time and resources.
To go to war.
This blocks the remote detonator signal to the bomb. Get it onto it before sunrise. They might hit the button when it starts.
When what starts?
War.
Batman symbolizing the fight for justice affects mostly two characters in the film, one being Peter Foley, and the other being Selina Kyle, Catwoman.
I don't care about Peter Foley. He dies, the camera pans over him quickly, and then he is forgotten. What does that say about his character? I'm afraid, I'm afeared to fight. Maybe I need to fight, and then he dies. What's the lesson to be gleaned from that?
Not that Catwoman. This Catwoman. Let's focus on Selena.
That was the bad one. Like Bane, the bad
Oh,
one.
yeah. This is good because that's bad.
Kyle here. Her goal in the film is that she wants to escape her life of... Her goal in the film is that she wants to...
He is not a funny man.
It could be seen
by whom?
By the people who know his comedy and are tailored to that. So they know what to expect and they're not getting anything but what they want.
The first time you watch somebody, you should be able to watch them and go, wow, that was funny, without the need to know their comedy.
But the deeper comedy, you need to be ingratiated.
There is no deepness about this.
Catwoman
Catwoman was
watch
trash.
The Skillshare video on comedy?
I wonder if there is one. Comedic writing.
What the could you say? Be funny? Set up and punchline.
There are dark comedies. There are like anti-comedies.
Yeah, and you're telling me this and I know that.
Okay then. But a person might not know that. So why not sign up for the course?
What's a person that wouldn't know that?
Someone that wants to write comedy that's not very funny.
Good luck.
I wonder if there's somebody out there that just knows they're not a funny person.
There has to be. Yeah, there has to be.
I don't know. Cause I don't know if there's a person out there that knows comedy, their brand of comedy, whatever, and just goes, I'm just not a funny person on any level.
It could be that they're like, internally, I think what I'm saying is funny, but the people don't understand my comedy.
See, no, that's the problem though. They think they're funny. They just need to reach the audience that would also find what they're doing funny. So is there someone out there that does not believe they're funny?
I would say sheer number of people on the planet.
Escape her life of crime and start anew by using this device called the clean slate to wipe away.
You can't just say the clean slate and just go, yep, there's a thing that you could just plug into a computer and it erases all the databases. What of it?
That was a storyline. Are you ever going to watch Sherlock?
No.
Okay. There was a storyline in Sherlock season 2, I believe, where there was a device that can crack any safe in the world. And Moriarty uses it to crack into one of the most uncrackable safes in London and sits on a throne with a crown and everything. He's just like, I've got it, blah, 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 let me go, and I'll give it over. And it turns out, no, he just paid some people off so he can get inside the safe. There was no uncrackable code.
Because
that's
silly.
It's a silly device.
To just go, yeah, all of it. Any safe in the world. Make a new safe. Guess what? It breaks it. And then you gotta go, yeah, it's all the databases all over the world and everything. And you can just...
So does it erase your criminal record or you entirely?
Dude, because let's look at it both ways. Okay. The criminal record, it erases the criminal record. Because we could just go, somebody, they'll go, America's Most Wanted, and they'll print out something. They'll be like, Selena Kyle, she's done all these things.
Wanted.
You can't erase that. You can't be like, she has 186 accounts of grand larceny.
But you can erase it from the record if people just go, oh, she must have been found innocent of all charges or something.
186 of them bastards?
They can't bring up any record of her being found guilty or even being charged with the crime.
I guess my diamond just disappeared then. Well, I guess. She's free now.
My daughter flossing, she in kindergarten. What was the other one? Oh, erases who you are as a person.
Erases who you are as a
Which
person.
Which means birth certificates, social security numbers.
But
then
again,
she's out of America, so.
But again, printed out things that just say Selena Kyle did this. You can't erase that.
I look like her. I get that a lot.
No.
To wipe away her criminal past. She also starts the movie believing that what Bane is doing is justice, but eventually begins to realize that the somewhat totalitarian state that Gotham has become, ruled by the insane, is not what justice truly is.
Pause. Somewhat totalitarian? No, it's complete and total anarchy.
Yeah. It's yours. Take what you want.
Take what you want. Whatever. Do it.
There's no cops.
Ruled. She had to be convinced that ruled by the insane is a bad thing?
She didn't think he was insane.
There is no way.
I'm sorry.
Where there are no laws in place
no way.
that it but just complete and total, literally no cops because they're all in the sewer. Let's not forget about that. They were all funneled into the sewer. And it's just like anybody can do anything that they want at all times.
They've taken from us, so now we get to freely take from them. That's probably the beginning and ending of her thought process. You millionaires on your ivory towers, well, now we own the towers and there's nothing you can do about it.
But then you got to look at it like, okay, the food shipment and crap like that.
How did they have food for 5 months?
There's a Walmart. Some guy rocks up and takes all the nacho cheese Doritos. Yep. Now we have no nacho cheese Doritos. And we have no recourse for that guy that took all the nacho cheese Doritos.
Get the Cool Ranch.
Yo, I guess we gotta get Cool Ranch now,
Don't
Mr.
say
Bang.
I guess it's good.
Okay,
Cool Ranch is good.
I flip-flop between. Now,
I can understand the
nacho cheese has more utilities because I love them on sandwiches, burgers, nachos,
dips,
burritos, and crap like that. But if I'm just eating them, I'm going for the Cool Ranch all the time.
I cannot understand people that dip Cool Ranch. I never understood the Cool Ranch tacos from Taco Bell.
I've never even had it.
I wouldn't. It just sounds wrong.
Nope. You need the nacho cheesier for that. So it's a balancing act.
Hey, Flaming Hot Doritos are still the greatest.
If
Doritos.
you say so. But you got to look at it like that. Like, well, if everybody can just take what they want, somebody can just rock into my place and take my and I can't even be mad at them, even though that's my
And people are greedy and hoarders, as evidenced by things like toilet paper or buying up PlayStations or Wii so they could resell them. So who's to say that someone won't just grab all the nacho cheese Doritos just because they want it all for themselves and won't give it to anybody else? And what happens with the newly born babies and like formula?
Yeah.
What happens if someone
hospitals, just people running like the electrical plant? What reason do they have to go into work if money is essentially useless? Are they doing it out of the good of their own heart? They can't be because they're Gothamites. And they're all sacks of
It's the dead of winter. I hope we got heat.
I hope that the mugs in there that's doing whatever they need to do to give us heat is still doing whatever they need to do to give us heat.
Call the plumber.
Otherwise, this man who not in 10 years ago tried to run a train of poison into the water is the literal judge, jury, and executioner. Boy, I hope things are gonna run well in this town when we gotta answer to this man for our crimes? What crimes get you in front of that motherfucker?
And it's not even like, he already said, it's not a court of law, it's just sentencing.
Yeah.
You're already judged.
Yes, you go and walk. Go on and walk.
Walk or die.
Leaves Gotham to be under this aristocratic rule at the start of the film and steals from the rich, but eventually comes to realize that Bane's goal is not the same as her goal, and for the rest of the movie, she just wants to leave.
Pause. And she never had a conversation of, what are you gonna do to liberate Gotham? Well,
on fire.
On fire. Well, are you gonna set fire to everything?
Look, I've had like 3 people shot. Don't be the fourth.
Don't. You know, I'm working on my anger
Just
issues.
know you gonna like it.
Yes, I'ma do it. Whatever you want, that's what I'ma do. Our interests align, okay? All right. Don't ask questions. Just do what needs to be done.
Don't start no. Won't be no.
Hey, you don't want to see my hand where my hip be at.
Eve. She also sees a bit of herself in Bruce and also wishes him to leave Gotham. And in the end, it's a decision Selena Kyle has to face.
Why are you acting like this is this grandiose thing when we've seen it in so many other pieces of media where the seemingly selfish person is getting ready to leave and then they have a change of heart to come help the hero?
It's not a wholly unique thing, but it has to be said that way in order to prop this movie up. Why is this movie better than I remember?
Because of all the themes he's talked about. The ideology of Bane. Batman, Bane, and Talia.
But he's not talking about the story.
That's part of the story.
He's just talking about motivations and stuff. He's not talking about, oh yeah, this big bomb that this man jerry-rigged. And what's this bomb do? Oh, it's a 6-mile radius big boom bomb. Oh, cool, word. Who can defuse it? Just me. All right, snap. Follow me, everybody. You know, or else.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah. We're going to do whatever he says. Yeah, I got the trigger. I can just blow y'all up at any time. So, you know, I'm just saying.
Whether she's gonna stand up for the helpless of Gotham again, but fight for true justice this time, or will she run away to freedom? And her desire to live a normal life also has some...
Could you go back to them running? Because they had guns
this time, or will she?
Nobody's falling.
For the helpless of Gotham
right
again,
to the
but
butt shot. Nobody's falling. They have guns, so they're just essentially shooting at their feet instead of just mowing them down.
Yeah, it's stormtroopers.
It's dumb.
Fight for true
nobody's falling.
Justice this time, or will she run away to freedom? And her desire to live a normal life also has some influence on Bruce, as at the end of the film, he leaves to Italy with her, knowing that Batman has truly solidified itself as a symbol, and that it will live on, inspiring...
You have to hope that Robin will be like, yeah, I'll take the mantle.
You also have to hope that there's never going to be a threat that he can't handle.
He's a pretty good cop. So now you got
no ninja cop, just a pretty good cop.
In Batman and Catwoman were being circled up by dudes that they had to beat up. 3 guys, and this dude is getting the stomp down.
Reasons to do some good. But
That
how
is
does that happen?
Not a good statue. This is not inspiring peace and hope. This is horrific. This is just like, this is that monster that tormented us all these years. I'm glad that he's dead. This is not a he saved all of us type of in.
But it is a beware criminals for the Batman is always watching.
Okay, but this statue, why do you need a statue when the guy is right over there?
What guy?
The guy.
What guy?
It's the guy. I'm watching him beat up my friend.
I'm watching his Twitch.
Bruce get to this point.
There are 4 minutes left of this video. Words.
Rise, Batman.
Bruce must climb out of the pit of death. Bruce for the entire movie has been falling and can't get up.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Now the pit is hell on earth.
You think there needs to be some deep understanding of the comedy of Browntable to understand why that is or is not funny?
Yes.
Craziness.
Because we need to understand why he thinks that is funny first and foremost.
He's a lame-o.
And we need to know more about him to understand his brand of comedy. And
lame.
We know who he is, why he thinks that
lame-o.
And then he tailors that to people who also find this type
other
of
lames.
Yes, and we are simply not in that the mindset.
We are in a different lane of lame.
Yes, absolutely. So now I'm just explaining why we need to understand Browntable to understand why he thinks that's funny, and therefore
I can even if I understand why he thinks it's funny, it's not funny. Even if you believe it to be. Like anti-jokes where I don't find them funny. I understand your brand of comedy. You find them funny. Doesn't make it funny to me.
You're laughing.
I'm not.
The pit.
Where no one can escape. To stay is to accept death.
Why?
What is going on? Yeah, I have no idea what
Bruce wants to escape, and to do so, he has to climb out of the pit without a rope.
Maybe we're supposed to pay more attention to the pit and less to the scenery behind
But this is the first time that he's done that for the words.
The pit is more needed to be focused on.
Not Batman's ideology?
Nope.
And find the fear.
Could you go back? Because I've not heard.
I don't want to hear no more.
Escape. To stay is to accept death, but Bruce wants to escape, and to do so, he has to climb out of the pit without a rope and find the fear he's been lacking. Find his.
I don't necessarily agree with the whole discard the rope and you'll be better at going because you fear death and you're gonna fight harder. Wouldn't it work in the opposite way of you have a safety harness so you can go as hard and fast as you want? So
yeah, but you don't have that desperation to unlock that next level of human conditioning, because I mean, if you got your arm trapped and you got a crowbar to pry it open, you're just gonna pry it open. Yeah. I'm safe here.
Yeah.
But you don't have that. You might not be like, oh, I have to live. I have to do this 30-mile trek to civilization.
No, but here you can just go, all right, I can wait until the very last second. Oh, that didn't work. I can maybe do a bit of a dive. Oh, that didn't work. You can.
Hey, how their backs or sternums aren't broken, I couldn't tell.
Because the first time when he fell and it just went, there's a bit of a snapping sound. I'm like, oh, he's done. Back's jacked again. We're out of here. Good night, moon.
His will to survive and overcome this obstacle completely. Not out of his duty to fight for his city, but out of personal desire to fight for his city once more.
I do fear death. I fear dying in here. While my city burns. Then make the climb.
Hey, symbolism. There's the bats coming out.
Yeah, you see, it's
symbolic.
Yep. Because bats and Batman.
Without the rope.
And thus, The Dark Knight Rises.
Did you expect anything differently? Did you expect anything? Come on now. Don't be silly.
He rises.
Yes.
I expected the rises.
No. This is what it was all about. I'm surprised he didn't do the chant and just like they're chanting for him to rise. And
you mean as they lip sync, they Milli Vanilli it? Because they are clearly not saying the words that are being chanted?
Well, you know. The frame rate that he filmed it at was not conducive to the words that were being said. So it's a little off.
It's so off. No. I've seen better lip syncing in a Jackie Chan movie.
They're not great.
When he reaches Gotham, he has to stop Bane's nuclear bomb from going off, and we get what I keep talking about time and time again. A timer, a countdown, a ticking clock. Something used in media to create tension.
Well, I think one of the great uses of time in film noir and crime movies is always the ticking clock, that great tension. It really speaks to the use of time in these kind of films. You really want to try and ratchet things up. And in The Dark Knight Rises, we try and tell a very long time span for this genre. and then we try and really compress it and accelerate it towards the end. So time's very, very elastic in the film.
Batman must make the ultimate sacrifice. The physical embodiment of Batman must be removed for Batman to truly become the representation of heroism. Now, with the figure of Batman being celebrated as a hero, Bruce can go and live on for himself, as the Dark Knight has risen, again, in a whole nother way. And the truth is, I think the film's theme of rising after being beaten is incredibly impactful. It's a message that's told time and time again to rise up after falling down. A message about not giving up, and the film displays what a true hero can be, inspiring. And there's also the theme of death and rebirth. The League of Shadows is reborn with Talia and Bane. Gotham dies to only be reborn better and brighter.
What's the League of Shadow disbanded after the first one?
Who released it now?
And again, this theme of
You knew the themes were... You knew the themes were coming, dude. It's the end of the video. You knew the themes were gonna be Why is the text still on the screen?
Is reborn with Talia and Bane. Gotham dies to only be reborn better and brighter. And Batman dies, and yet John Blake finds the Batcave, and Batman will live on. The film, like a lot of films, is layered with impossibilities like how did Bruce heal his back so quickly? How did he get back to Gotham? Plot holes like that exist, but having no relevance to the plot in any way, they shouldn't really be considered plot holes, but more so nitpicking.
How does Batman get back to a city that is on complete lockdown from air, sea, and roads to save the city?
Well, that has no relevance to the plot, and that's a nitpick. How does he fix his back when he said his back was jacked up so much that he couldn't even move out of bed? Well, that doesn't really do anything for the plot. That's a nitpick.
Because now he's got to jump out of this cave to rise.
That's a nitpick. No, that's a legitimate issue.
What does he believe a plot hole is? An issue that exists within the plot that affects the plot in some way, but is not explained by the movie. Because that's truly what happened here.
These are major issues that you can't just go, these are nitpicks. What are you talking about? They showed his back being snapped. He could not move, and now he can. And now he can do push-ups. Now he can climb up in a wall. It's fine. Why even do it if you're going to do that? Why even have it, again, like I said, why even have his knee be jacked up if you're just going to robot his knee up? This is not a nitpick that this mob should not have been able to get back to Gotham. You can't just be like, he just
That's
did
just
it.
A nitpick.
What does he think
Because it has
that
no
nitpicks
relevance
are?
in the plot.
It has extreme relevance to the plot.
Does he have a video that explains nitpicks?
No, he doesn't.
Plot holes.
No.
Are you sure?
Because that's not his brand of critique.
Table plot hole. Oh no, Smut Boy talked about it. Yep, sure doesn't look like it.
Of course not.
That is unfortunate.
So now we just have to be like, this is just what he thinks a nitpick is. It's just like something like, how does Batman get back to Gotham? That's a nitpick.
I just want to know what he thinks isn't a nitpick then.
We have to look at something that he critiques and see what he believes an actual critique is. Something that harms the story when this isn't considered something that harms the story.
Yeah, I'm looking through his videos and I don't know why I thought.
Oh, you thought.
Alright.
Let's all just use the argument that everyone always uses whenever something like this happens. How did Batman do it? Because he's the goddamn Batman.
Tell me where the traitor is.
That is not a good enough reason.
Does he think that's a good enough reason, as he's a film analyst, for issues in a plot to just go, he's Batman. That's the laziest. I'm not thinking about this that could possibly be. There's no effort to that. So Batman can make in laser punch fist gauntlet. He could be like, well, he's Batman. He can do whatever. If you're just going, he's the Batman. You can't have that.
Everybody has that. We have literally debated someone who said those exact words.
That was not a debate.
What was it then? What was
that was a man floundering because he was not prepared. He didn't want none.
He did want some, but he did not want none on the level to which we deliver.
Man, that happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That happened with the Clan Ad debate that I had. Where I'm just laying out all this stuff. He's just like, I ain't even seen After Story. Like, what the are you doing here then?
Yeah, Clan Ad happened again. Old dude you were talking to in your room quite recently.
The themes. Oh, I thought you were talking about the themes, dude.
What was it?
Don't you remember that themes guy where I was just like, I'm hopping into his Discord?
Yeah, I think that might have been it. And then at the end, you were like, you could have said something better, and I could have. Yeah. A lot of times people, I don't know, I wonder if it's just like the debate bros where they know the level of debating they're at and they want to maintain around that level. So when they get into a debate with a person, they believe that that person will also be around that level. Because I know that's what Steven Crowder does. He debates a lot of college students, a lot of YouTubers where he can make some points against it. And then he runs and hides against somebody like Sam Cedar because Sam Cedar has a better ability to debate issues. So he's just like, no parts of that. And I wonder if that's what it is. You just expect everyone to be where you are.
But then once you realize that, wouldn't you be like, maybe, I can't say that because that pro thing when in the Superman.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like he eventually understood to back off from that point.
That was 4 hours.
Eventually.
That's 4 hours over the course of, what was that, like a year plus?
A year and a half too, yeah.
After the first or second time, he should have known it's like, nah, I'm this ain't it. I'm not doing anything personally.
But that's the issue. People do think they're doing something personally.
But what's that line of where they realize that they're not, though?
Some people never get to that line. They'd rather close off the people that are across that line and just go, I never need to cross this line.
This is nowhere near the Batman thing that was just said.
Then you have my permission to die.
How's it going, Chad? Thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate shares and likes and comments and all that fluff. Definitely turn on notifications to get the latest, brownest content from me. And
brownest?
Loverboy Media is a Patreon?
It's a full circle.
We never left.
I want to thank my patrons for helping me out every month. I wanted to shout out B-Man Lego Boy for being with me.
High Top Films?
I can't. I will not.
Really?
I will not. Okay.
It's my Return to Zootopia days. He's a great dude. And I also wanted to shout out Noah Sparks for updating the Browntable theme. Check out his website in the description as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you come back to the table.
Did you think you had more Patreon than you did? Oh yeah, that's all fine.
Easy. No problem.
That was a... We didn't need to watch the movie.
We did not need to watch the movie. Shut up, Triton! You shut the up! Alright?
Do you think there's ever going to be a movie, manga, analyst video to where we read it and go, I am glad I read this to be able to counter these points?
Statistically, yes.
I know, because I think we stopped doing this before we find one. We can do every video we have right now, and it would take us literal years to get through them. And that's without adding a single another video to that list. We're not going to be here in 7 years.
I'm just saying, it is a possibility that could happen.
I mean, all things are possible. It's a possibility a meteor comes crashing through the roof and kills us.
100%. Big yikes on that one.
Yeah. I don't understand how he can analyze media like this and then create a piece of media. And that's you've got such a base level understanding of what you should be critiquing, how to critique it. Like, is Interstellar Rangers Commits good to him because he's using the themes that he wants to employ as opposed to the character writing?
It's the stuff that he wants to see, so he puts that in there. It's not that's what it's always going to be about when writers create something. It's going to be the things that I cherish.
Okay, you can have the things you cherish, but the things you cherish should be you should also be able to look at the things you don't cherish and be able to write it. Like, there's a thing of knowing your market. If you get into, let's say, romance, if what's hot right now is interracial romance, even if that's not your wheelhouse, you should be able to construct a story of that thing. How can you not construct a story with a good plot or good characters instead of a bunch of tropes and that you just throw on screen and then you say baka for some reason?
And then you say themes. Like, look at the themes, y'all. We put an interview out like, the themes that I were going for was, and then that's it. And then you just gotta be like, we got to look at this in the themes lens.
We really don't. What are we doing Saturday?
And that's the problem with that. Something like, we'll talk about that. But we'll talk about the Interstellar Rangers stuff. You could be like, you can look at it as a theme lens, but it's 2 episodes.
Yeah.
We can't really go, because you can't just go, okay, here is the theme. We got the theme. Excellent. How is it implemented? We need more information for that. So we can't really judge it until we get a full picture of the theme. But we can judge a story as it goes on. Because if it's just like, it takes 5 years to go into space and it takes a minute, you go, what'd you say, 5 minutes? That doesn't really... So yeah, it's... We could do the tier list, like you said.
Let's do one of the tier lists. We'll figure out which one.
We could do a couple tier lists. We could probably do 2.
Yeah, cereal and candy bars or something.
Cereal and candy bars. I dig that.
There we go. That's what we're doing Saturday, y'all. Cereal and candy bars.
And they'll probably try to force some in salad sand or something on us.
I don't understand, dude. I truly don't. I don't know why they want him to cook so bad.
It's entertaining in its lunacy. That's all I can say about it. Because otherwise, it's just like, this guy is awful. Why does he have many more than 3 views?
Yeah, it's crazy.
If it's the Boo arc, but Goku's just evil. Same things happen essentially, but and Gohan's here. He's strong.
Awful. Also, look out for Triggered's One Piece review that he's gonna do. He's gonna review the entire series arc by arc. I feel like that's gonna be hilarious.
It's gonna be very bad.
Oh, dude,
because
he is a dumb person,
not intelligent individual,
and have fun with that. He is hard banned, so do not expect anything from us.
They're gonna force it.
It's definitely going to be a viewer request month.
Yeah, I'm looking at probably Water 7 in his lobby.
No, he thinks Water 7 is good, though. Water 7 in his lobby. I'm looking at more around Arlong Park.
Skypiea could be hit because he could like, oh, Nika.
Yeah, I can see that bush.
So yeah. But he's also very lazy, so who knows if he's actually gonna do it, because his last video was like 2 months ago.
But he's been live streaming a lot.
Yeah, man. And that's what the thing is. He goes, live streaming is easy.
Yeah.
No effort. So it takes a whole lot of effort to put a gameplay and a couple pictures. Oof. He's so dumb. Anything else before we hit that wee woo?
Nope. Keep watching Phil, or don't watch Phil, cause you know how that goes. Yeah. Nothing else. Oh, check it out. You've been working on it, or just like I'll get to it when I get to it?
Forgot. Cool. But like I said, these are gonna be the easier ones.
Yeah.
Because I would rather just go to episode 3 if I'm being honest, because that was the spicy one.
Which one is episode 3?
The ReZero Haikyuu.
Oh boy.
That's the spicy one. But
it's in order.
But like I said, this one's gonna be easier because I don't have almost 1,100 chapters of manga for one. It's just this obscure thing that I need to find.
You didn't need to.
Yes, I did.
Cool.
Because I wouldn't allow myself to not.
Hey, I understand.
It's fine. Wee woo. The story is ended. The story is ended, not the episode is ended. This is the wee woo every million incest alarm. Wee woo. You're wrong about that. Wee woo. Check the Discord. Did you not see that?
Oh, I saw it. Yeah. I chose to ignore it.
That is a very wise decision. I will not be challenged on my opinions on that. Y'all do y'all. If you think it's fine, that's cool. I don't. I think that's weird. I'm not saying that it should be illegal. I'm saying it's weird.
Hey, everybody. Remember last episode where DA was like, from now
shut up!
on,
You shut the f up! You shut the f up! You shut up! Alright? I'm gonna get to it on my own terms. Alright? This is an extenuating circumstance because the love was in the Discord coming at my neck, coming at the head of the king. You best come proper. Alright? I just need to get that out there. I know. Every second is just proving your point more.
On top of that, you understand that you could have called him out before saying wee woo and still have gotten your wee woo out and then ended the episode.
Yes, I know that. I absolutely do know that. But that's not how I wanted to do that.
No, you'd rather extend it and
because it's
yourself
not planned. A liar. It's not planned to be like wee woo incest alarm. Who would plan that? I said wee woo and then I went, it's familiar. Oh, that bastard was up in there with Kiss X Sis. Let me just slide that up in there. And then this is why. What?
That's what you want to slide in there?
No, not me.
I don't know what you do.
I'm not defending it.
I don't know what you do.
I'm over here being like, that's icky.
That's the icky poo.
Yeah. And then they coming at my neck like, oh, you in moving the goalposts. I'm like, mother, it's always been that. Shut up. This is only the second wee woo. No, wait a second. It wasn't fair because you were looking at me expecting something more. So now I have to call that out.
Because I was about to say something and then I went, no, it's a wee woo. It's fine to end right there.
You were looking at me expecting something. And I'm only saying this just to call that out.
I was not expecting anything.
Yes, you were.
How are you telling the person that's saying, no, I wasn't? Yes, you were. I thought about saying something to extend it, and then I went, no, because then this bastard's going to call me out for extending it, so I'll rather just end it.
How you go? fine. That's not fair. Well, this was a horrible episode. We talked about Batman like we talked so much about Skillshare.
Would you take a Skillshare sponsorship?
I would need to learn about it. That's why I said
I mean, but we know what it is. It's basically Udemy, but
that's why, because Udemy has the notes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I would need to, because like I said, I'm probably going to do the 7-day trial or whatever, just to see if it's just the video or there are comments or there's some sort of annotation like, hey yo, this dude's not spitting at this part.
But there's a community, so I would assume, unless it's just like a generalized community, like it's a forum.
It's a forum, and the forum that annotations would really help. Mm-hmm. Just be like, something pops up on screen like, oh, pay attention to this part because this part is the most important. And you can turn them on and off. Yeah, or something like with the lighting where it's just like, use this thing, and then somebody pops up and just like, this brand is actually a little bit better and it's cheaper as well. And or if you want to buy this brand, here's an Amazon link or something. Yeah, they didn't say anything about the poles that hold it up, so you need those poles as well, like a 3-corner pole, something like that. That would be helpful, but like I said, it could just be a YouTube video. I've learned so much with just YouTube videos. I do. YouTube is killing it. Just whenever I'm just like, how do you do this with Adobe YouTube? Do this with Adobe like this. Oh, word. And I do it. Yeah, I learned quite a bit about resizing images with HTML and CSS through it. And it was, thank you, YouTube. Yeah. A lot of my Security Plus stuff was just like, because I illegally torrented a thing, and then I was just like, oh, this dude's not really explaining this thing all that well. And I went to YouTube and was just like, what's this thing? And then there's a big playlist of things where I just like, yo, and I did it. Yep, I know all about that game. Yep. We will, if you want.